Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Find Your Soul show. It is Pip Coleman coming in today to talk about our topic for the month, which is bravery. And we are at the point of talking about, we're into the third week of our conversation. And this week, we're going to actually talk a little bit about your job versus your purpose and being brave around the choices that you make and being curious about what is your purpose as compared to your job. Good morning, Margaret. Good morning to you. Welcome to Find Your Soul show. This is an interesting topic. I really love talking to people about what lights them up. What is the thing that lights them up? And it is brave to move in the direction of your purpose. It is brave to do the thing that you're here on this planet to do, to be the person that you are on this planet to be, and to live the life that you want to live, authentically you. That's brave. That is something that's really brave. And I was saying to one of my clients last week that I could never have predicted that working on board a cruise ship and playing and doing activities and, you know, being silly and trivial, as I thought at the time. I thought it was very trivial and fun and silly to do, but I could never have actually pictured that down the track I was going to be using those skills of standing up on stage and speaking in front of a group and, you know, having fun with people, but talking about things that weren't trivial. So I think that's really interesting to consider. What is it that you are doing now that down the track might actually be something that you could do for your job or your business, or, you know, what is it that is sort of rising up in you in terms of your passions and so forth. So, hi, Kerry. Welcome, Kathy and Melinda. Nice to see you here. We are talking about purpose versus job. So, one of the things that I wanted to get to ask you is, when we're talking about purpose, some people get a bit confused and they think that your purpose is something that you have to do as your job. Like, you know, somebody will say, it's my purpose to be a nurse, or it's my purpose to be an author, or, so they marry the purpose with what they think their job is supposed to be. And people will say, you know, I haven't found my purpose yet because I'm working in retail, or I haven't found my purpose yet because I'm working in a job that doesn't seem like it's your purpose. But I was considering it this morning. I was thinking about what's my purpose, you know, and sometimes it changes. I think your purpose can change in terms of the specifics of it, but you will always have sort of an overarching energy or passion that's what I call your purpose. It's like that umbrella of the theme. It's your theme. It's your life's theme. So I was thinking about this morning, as I do, when I'm having a shower. I always have these like, aha moments in the shower. And I was thinking, my purpose seems to be, looking back on the way that things have unfolded in my life, to bring people together in like-minded souls. Bringing people together, whether it's online, whether it's in person. And those of you who are down here on Phillip Island will know that I have a couple of different groups that I bring people together, and they didn't even know that those other people were living down the street from them, and they have like-minded souls. They are people who really resonate with each other. And because of me, they have met each other, and they always say to me, Pip, you bring people together. You're a relationship person. You bring people together who like each other. So I think that's really interesting. And so what I would ask you is to think, what do people say about you all the time? What do they say in terms of, oh, Kerry, you're blah. Like, you're the sort of person who takes care of things, or you're the sort of person who is someone who's really fun, who likes to play, or so when you're thinking about your purpose, it's not, or maybe you're like, oh, you're such a good mum. Like, there will be things that people have said to you consistently about what you do well that you might have discounted and thought, oh, that's nice, or you might have even said, oh, no, I'm not that great. That's a different conversation altogether, that confidence conversation. But if you've heard someone say something about the way that you do things and they say it consistently, then that can be a clue to what your purpose is. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you. I've been contemplating this today. So there's two things that I would suggest that we do. First thing is share with me what you do for a job, and then we can talk about what we think your purpose is that's bigger than that job that you do at the moment. So pop in the comments there what your job is, and then we can sort of talk about, okay, what might your purpose be? Let's get curious about it, because you might think that you're not doing your purpose right now. You might think that you're in a job or doing, even running a business that might seem like it's not your thing, but it actually might turn out to be. So, oh, good. I'm glad I'm making sense. Thank you, Kerry. Great. Okay, a school cleaner. Interesting. So, my question to you is, if your job is cleaning a school, that's interesting, because it might seem like that's not your purpose. And I don't know, do you feel like cleaning and keeping things looking really nice and taking care of a space, is that your purpose? Is that something that you really feel you resonate with? Or are you doing that job because it's something that you have always been good at and you just sort of fell into that industry of cleaning? Or it was easy, or somebody recommended you, or whatever. So it's always interesting to me to look at what it is that you, what's the reason why you're doing that job, and then you can kind of work out what the purpose is, whether the purpose is being, fulfilled. Because we always do things that serve us, even if we think that we're not doing them to serve, and they don't, and might not even like what it's doing. We always do things to serve us in some way. So maybe your purpose is being served and you don't even realize that it's being served. So, and then you can look at whether or not you need to change that to serve your purpose even more and make yourself happy. For example, great, Kerry. So the cleaning job is taking care of people. Fantastic. And I suspect that is part of your purpose, that taking care of people vein probably runs through everything in your life. That bit is your purpose. So that being said, if you don't enjoy this cleaning job because, say, it is physically demanding, I'm sure, and maybe you don't like the people that you work with, let's just say that those are the two things that kind of come up straight away for me. If you don't like some aspects of the job, you can still take care of people in any job that you do. Do you get what I mean? So you can be looking for things that you like to do in terms of a job, and you can still be serving your purpose. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense to you, and if you've had any ahas with what I'm saying. And I'll talk to Marianne while I'm the art coaching and art therapy, fantastic. And photography, beautiful. So in that, underneath those things that you do, what is it that you that you're doing to, what is it that you're getting out of it? What do you get out of doing those things? Because those things are the things that we do. Those things are the work that we do. So what is it underneath? What's your why? I think that's the key. Why are you doing those things? And I do coaching, and I do, Bowen therapy and Reiki, and I teach courses and things. And those are the things that I do. But the why is to bring people together. Do you see what I mean? So I love bringing people together, and I love teaching people how to trust themselves and know themselves better. So my why is the purpose bit. So my question to you, Marianne, is why? What is it that really draws you magnetically to do those things? What is it? Is it beauty? The fact that you do art and art therapy and photography. A lot of artists, a lot of creative people that I know, they have that that beauty. They have a beauty belief. They believe and want to enhance the beauty in the world. They want to add to the beauty in the world. So they have a desire, a thing that's sort of pushing them to look for. They look for the beauty. They look for the ways to make things more beautiful. And that's part of that might be part of your purpose. It might be, depending on whether you're teaching or whether you're doing the art and the photography to sell, in terms of this is what you're still adding beauty or context or contrast. Do you know where I'm going with this? Like that sort of, what is the deeper thing that you are actually satisfying in yourself and in other people when you do that job? That's the purpose bit. Awesome. So Kerry, you get what I mean? And you started to cut back your hours. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, because that's great, because you're listening to yourself there. You're listening to what is it that actually makes me feel good. And one of the questions that I always ask people when they're making these inquiries is, how do you want to feel? How would you like to feel in your life? And if the thing that you do for money, the job that you do, if that doesn't make you feel the way that you want to feel, then let's look at some other ways that you can feel good in your life, because that's a purpose as well. I think as humans, I believe that our purpose is, we have individual purposes that each person has, their soul wants to achieve, or that you're drawn to. But I also believe that we have a purpose as humans, and that overarching desire to be happy and enjoy your life is sometimes gets squashed by our ego that says that we have to do this and this and this, the obligations that we kind of make up in our head, that we have to do these things instead of being happy. So excellent, Marianne. So your self-expression, awesome, and helping others to express themselves, fantastic. So underneath that again is even more than that is that desire to be authentic and get people to, you and other people, to speak their truth. It's like it gets to the heart of us all when we can express ourselves in an authentic way. Yeah, so that's really awesome. I love that you are giving people the opportunity to express themselves fully as who they are. Because when you pick a piece of art, you are choosing something that really makes you feel something. It makes you feel an emotion, which is, that's why you choose art. That's what it does. It makes you feel something. And when you create that artwork, it's makes you feel something. You feel something, and then you put that art on paper or take a photograph or whatever. So I love that. That's fantastic. And what a wonderful way to help people to move into their the true expression of themselves. Yes, speak your truth. Yeah, it is. It is an expression of your soul. It's so wonderful. I love that. And, you know, whether you're an artist or an author, like I express myself creatively, express my true self through my writing. And that's when I wrote Finding My Soul at Sea, that experience of writing a book. Initially, I just wrote the stories down because I thought they were fun and something interesting that people might want to read, family and that, friends and so forth. And then it became bigger than that. You know, the more that you kind of put yourself out there, the bigger that it becomes. So one of the things that I like to ask my clients to do when they're asking those questions around what is my purpose, what am I here for, why am I doing this life thing, what is this all about, what's this all about, is I ask them to write what I call a juicy list. Thank you, Kerry. That's beautiful of you to say. I ask people to write what I call a juicy list. So the juicy list is a whole sort of, you know, automatic writing process where you get yourself a blank piece of paper and you start to write down all the things that you think are juicy, things that you would be curious and, you know, things that are delicious that you would like to try. New things. So they might be things that you liked as a child that you haven't got around to doing. A few years back, I bought some roller skates. And I was just looking at them today because they were those white roller skates with the pink wheels. Remember those? And I bought these roller skates on eBay or something because I was really having this urge to have fun and have that sort of playful feeling. And I was like, what did I do when I was a kid that really made me feel fun and playful? And it was roller skating. I used to roller skate with my sister, and we had the clip-on roller skates, you know, the ones where it was like a piece of metal with some wheels on it and some straps, and we used to strap them around our shoes and we would like roller skate. And we loved it. Oh my God, Marianne, it was like so exciting. But what I wanted desperately when I was a kid was those white roller skates with the pink wheels. That was what I really wanted to be wearing. I didn't want to wear the cheap, you know, ones. But that was, you know, I was one of 5 children, so we couldn't all afford to have the fancy schmancy roller skates. So one of the things that I did a while back was I searched for white roller skates with pink wheels, and I bought myself a pair of roller skates, and I have them in my bedroom, and every now and then I get them out and I rollerblade and roller skate up and down my veranda. And I haven't been game enough to go out any further than my veranda just yet, but these things that's something to go on the juicy list. The other way that you can do it is, you know, you can talk about what sort of music would you like to have playing, what sort of things would you like to be doing with your spare time. Would you like to start to do art? I met a lady the other day, a new client of mine, who was talking about how she's started to teach herself how to paint, and she does something called, I can't remember what she called it, but you put the paint on the canvas, and then you tip the canvas back and forth and move the canvas around, and the paint sort of moves and becomes this like abstract sort of art, and then you just add the colours that you would like, and it sort of all becomes this sort of abstract, beautiful art. Anyway, it had a name, but it was really, really cool because she showed us some of her artwork, and I said, oh, did you go to a class for that? She said, no, I just watched on YouTube, and that really made me think, oh, well, I can do that, you know. So that's awesome. And I just thought, that's amazing. What an incredibly cool thing to do. So if that resonates with you, you know, there's so much out there that we could be doing that could bring some juice, bring some soul back into our lives. So be brave and step out of your comfort zone and try something new, or go back and think about what you wanted to be when you were a kid and what things you could bring into your life now. That's awesome, Marianne. You could definitely go to the roller skating place. That's so cool. Just make sure you put your knee pads and your elbow pads on. Because you might be, you know, not as, smooth as you were when you were a kid. I'm certainly, you know, still getting my roller skating legs. The other thing that I was thinking about this morning too is I was talking about going back and thinking about what you wanted to do, what you wanted to do as a kid, and the song in my head came up. Remember that song that was "I Want to Be a Cowboy and You Could Be My Cowgirl"? It was like a really bad song from the 90s, and it came up in my head. It was like, "I want to be a cowboy," and that's the sort of thing that I'm talking about. Roller skating might not be for you, Kerry. I get you. But you can always do something else that, is not quite so dangerous for your bones to break. But, what about dressing up? And the I want to be a cowboy thing just reminded me of this. There's an ad on TV at the moment where this lady is talking. I can't remember what it is. I think it's a health insurance ad. Anyway, she's talking about how she found this role play group that they do like proper sword fighting, and she gets all dressed up and as a warrior or something, and like Xena, warrior princess, and they do fighting. And she said that's just like changed her whole life, because she used to love getting dressed up and pretending to be something else when she was a kid. And so she was exploring that, like, well, how can I do that now, And so she's just said her life had changed. And I thought, that's what I'm talking about. That may not be your thing, but what is your thing? What's the thing? It might not be something that you do as part of your job. Maybe it is. Maybe you could become an actor or whatever. But the whole point is that it's about finding the things that make you light up. That being brave in the sense of taking those steps towards the things that make you feel really amazing. And maybe it'll lead to you doing something as a job. Xena Warrior on roller skates. I like it. That would be so fun. I would love to see a photograph of that if you're brave enough to send me a photo of you, Xena on rollerblades. That's funny. Rollerblades, I never really got the rollerblade thing. I always had trouble with that. But roller skates, 4 wheels, I felt more safe on the 4-wheel thing. But so I wanted to just encourage you to be brave and be curious. Start your juicy list. And start thinking about what it is that you can bring into your life. It might not necessarily be your job. I found last year, for example, during COVID, that all of the things that I normally do for my work, for my business, I couldn't do because most of the things I did were in person, like my Reiki treatments, my Bowen treatments, and teaching my Reiki courses and my psychic development. It couldn't happen because we were in lockdown. So what I did was I dived into getting some more mentoring around my book, and my publisher said to us, why don't you do something that is online? And so he was talking to everybody about interviewing and talking to people online about your book, and perhaps talking to characters in your book, or talking to people who helped you get your book published, and talking to people who've read your book, and just having a conversation and doing it on Facebook, for example, like a Facebook Live. And that was that made me go, oh, I'm curious about that. That sounds like fun. And it also was good because I'm living on my own. And so I wanted to have people to connect with. I needed to feel like I wasn't as alone, because I couldn't go out and socialize with people like I normally would. So that satisfied a few different needs in me. Plus, I was curious about having some fun with these interviews. What happened was I did a few interviews. They were fun. I did a few more interviews because people started to watch them and go, I want to be interviewed by you. Then somebody said, would you like to interview people on my Facebook page and I'll pay you for that? And I thought, well, that's cool. That's income that I wasn't getting, so that's amazing. And then somebody else said, would you like to do interviews and I'll pay you for them? And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And then it sort of evolved into, now when people want to do interviews with me, there is a part of my business where I do intuitive interviews for people, and they can use them as marketing tools for their business. So it evolved out of being curious about hey, wouldn't it be fun if I talked to my friends about my book on Facebook just for fun? So, and that evolved into an income. Now, I still do those things. It's not as busy as it was last year because I'm now going back to doing more things in person. But how amazing is it to follow the breadcrumbs and be brave and step out of what you do normally and move into something that you haven't really tried before and see what happens, see how it evolves, and just play for a little minute with something new. So bravery is an interesting thing when it comes to purpose, comes to life purpose. So I hope that kind of gives you a few ideas. Consider what you wanted to be as a child and maybe explore. You don't necessarily have to, get on the roller skates, but maybe, maybe you could, perhaps it's a sport. Like I've heard of people who are interested in they used to play a particular sport and now they don't anymore, but they really still love the sport. And so they might go back into the space as a coach or as a helper or as a trainer or as a commentator on that sport. You might find that there's a way in to still get that feeling, that joy that you had from that particular activity, and as an adult, that really will bring that spark and that love and that purpose back into your life. And if it evolves, follow the breadcrumbs, trust yourself. Follow the breadcrumbs to find the thing that maybe it'll become a job for you. It's all about being open and curious and brave. So that was my little spiel for today. Hope that was helpful to you. And as I say, my name's Pip Coleman. This is the Find Your Soul show. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And if anybody, we're going to talk a little bit more about bravery. We've still got bravery around your health and bravery around relationships to talk about this month. So I'm looking forward to talking to you then. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, my Facebook page is below in the comment in the blurb. And if you'd like to get in touch otherwise, if you'd like to talk about coaching or anything like that, please feel free to send me a private message. Love to be here. Always love to talk to you guys. Thanks, Kerry. Thanks, Marianne. That was fabulous. Your contribution was amazing, and I look forward to seeing your photos, Marianne, of you on roller skates next time. I'll see you soon. Bye.